Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 14 of Listen in 3D. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool,
And I'm Netta, aka Wondrous Net.
and together we are Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and the albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for doing so. Just make sure that you like this video, give us a comment, share it around with all your friends who are music lovers, and subscribe. If you want to help us out even further, if you do subscribe, click on that notification bell. That way you get notifications on when all our videos go live. When you do come to our channel, we encourage you to watch a video or two. That way we show up in your YouTube algorithms. That way we're not buried by other channels and you say that you can't find us. So that really helps us a lot. So please, please, please help us out with that. And if you want to email the show, email us listenin3d@gmail.com. Um, and then we also do have an Instagram, and we are on Spotify if you want to listen to us directly and on any other listening platforms. We're still trying to work out the kinks with Apple, but for the most part, Spotify, our iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music, we're there. So if you want to listen to the show, feel free to go ahead, listen there. And along with our Instagram, we also do have a TikTok as well. So that information's also on our main YouTube page. So check it out. Really appreciate it. With all that call to action business stuff out of the way, Netta, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Just underwent a toilet replacement that went okay. So sounds everything's good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just worked last night. Feel good. Feel energized. Ready to go to work. And get it in, and just do all the other stuff in between, including doing a podcast. With I guess my podcast friend, my podcast buddy. We enjoy it. Yep. All right. So, what album are we talking about today? And this one's a big one. Want to introduce it?
Yes, so today we'll be talking about 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Tryin'. It was released February 6, 2003. It was certified 9 times platinum. It has singles including In the Club, 21 Questions, PIMP, and If I Can't. And it had music videos for all the singles. PIMP was the remix, and it had there was music videos for Many Men and Heat, and it had guest appearances featuring Eminem, Young Buck, Tony Ayo, Nate Dogg, Lloyd Banks, and Snoop Dogg.
All right. Thank you very much. And just to correct you, at least I couldn't find one. I don't think there was a video for If I Can't, but that's okay. I mean, people
Oh,
make music videos, lyric videos all the time for those sort of things, but I don't think there was an official video for, well, not one that I can find anyway. All right, so 50 Cent, he's under pretty much the whole Dr. Dre, Eminem umbrella of, artists, out of New York City. And, just, I think when he came out, I think even though he's technically not from the West Coast, it feels like when you listen to him that you do get that like West Coast vibe in terms of gangster rap. I mean, it's definitely up there in, hardest gangster rap albums of all time. And he's from New York. So, I mean, I think that's kind of, I mean, not to diss any other New York rapper, like they're saying, hey, they ain't gangster enough or anything like that. But I would say, with the exception of maybe DMX, I don't think anyone else comes close in terms of his edginess or hardcoreness, if that makes sense. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
yeah. I don't know if I'm by. I mean, you're from California. I live in the South now. I thought he connect with the Southern people pretty well too. Like, and
Okay.
he references on a couple of the records like, yes, I'm from New York, but all the Southern people love me. I got that country grammar, and he says that kind of
Yeah.
throughout the album. And it was, I mean, even me when I was like 12, I remember listening to it. So he's pretty like he appeals to a wide audience, even though it's very hardcore
Yeah,
gangster
yeah,
music.
yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody loves his music. I mean, it's all ethnicities. I mean, there's no. Yeah,
Yeah.
he applies to everybody, you know. But 50 Cent's great, you know. He's definitely into the acting now. I mean, he's doing big things, and I think it's kind of funny how he likes to troll people online, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, even the people that star in his actual shows, I'm like, really, you're gonna
Yeah,
troll her, and she's like a star in Power?
yeah, yeah. I think yeah, he's been doing like a lot of great things, and you know, definitely like to see what he puts out in the future. So you never, so like most of these albums, you've never listened to this album in full. So what were you expecting going in? Were you expecting something soft, something hard, something? What were you expecting? Pre-listening thoughts,
um,
as you could say.
I never thought of 50 Cent as a real like gangster rapper because I more associate him with, oddly enough, like birthdays. Like back when this song came out, I remember there was like a transition where
Mhm.
every time I went to a birthday party, we were singing in the club
Yeah,
at the birthday party from then on. So I more conceptualize him as like, or conceptualize any part of this album as in the club, the birthday song. I didn't know like how hardcore he was. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I know for me, you know, I was a little older. I was a senior in high school when this album came out. I actually do have the CD. I'd have to look for it. Maybe I could show it to you guys on Instagram or something. But yeah, it was yeah, I remember yeah saving my money. I was working at a pizza delivery place my senior year of high school. And I remember like going to I think it was either Best Buy or Circuit City, and picking this thing up. It was either the the week it came out or maybe a week or two after it came out, because usually like when the CDs first came out back then they were on sale. I know Best Buy in particular had like sales for like 9.99. Otherwise, the prices would go up if you like missed those sales, and that's like when they first came out. So I remember getting this one, and I was blown away. I really love the production on this album. I mean, I will say this: it's not like one of my favorite albums, but it's a very enjoyable album. Like if we were going on a road trip and we were like, "Hey, listen to Get Rich or Die Tryin'," I'm not gonna complain. Like just listen to it. It's very well produced. You know, you can't deny the production, and you know, just bunch of catchy songs, a bunch of songs that will just people will just never forget about.
Yeah, there were a couple songs on there where I'm like, even though he's spitting the verse, man, it sounds like another chorus or something because it's just so catchy and it flows so well. And the beats on top of that with Dr. Dre, those were just insane, especially for my favorite one that we'll discuss. But yeah.
All right, so let's see. So let's go into the artwork. What did you think of the artwork on Get Rich or Die Trying with the shattered
Well,
glass and
yeah, that was one thing I did remember because my sister had hung that poster up on her closet back in the day. I thought it was a very unique album cover.
mm,
It's like the center of the album is the crucifix, and
yeah,
it's framed by like a bullet hole.
yeah,
And I thought it went along well with kind of the themes of the album because there's a lot of like religious connotations and stuff throughout the album, along with the violence. So I thought the crucifix framed by the bullet hole was very appropriate for this album. Well, what did you think?
yeah. I thought so too, especially with some of the songs that we'll get into, and you know, just I think the only thing he's probably missing is the bulletproof vest, and you know, just I mean, being shot, you know, 9 times or whatever. You know, I mean, he's definitely lucky to be alive, so to say. And you know, I think it great introduction to what the world was going to get with him, and you know, I mean, what can I say? He killed it. So I mean, he it's pretty decent album cover. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of production, I know we were talking about it a few seconds ago. What was your favorite beat on this album?
Mm, I like Mini Men. Mini Men,
Many,
I love that beat.
All
What
right.
what was yours?
For me, it was several, but my favorite one was Heat, and then the second two were If I Can and In the Club. I think those were the two like second or third greatest beats in terms of production. But Heat, I thought was really good. In terms of beats. Um, so anyway, let's see. So let's go into the singles. So I guess we could start with the biggest single on the album that just gets played and played and played and played and played and to the point where you just get sick of it. Where I'll just let you know right now, it's not one of my top three songs, but In the Club. I guess I can go ahead and start. Groundbreaking when it came out, definitely like, love the introduction. Go shorty, it's your birthday. And just I like how he killed it with only two verses. Like a lot of rappers were doing three verses in their songs at that time. The fact that he kills it with two and makes it like a great song, that goes well. But in terms of verses, you know, one of the verses I liked at the beginning of the second verse. If I can pull this thing up real quick. Oh, there we go. Let's see. You should love it the way that you, or way more than you hate it, nigga. You mad? I thought you'd be happy I made it. So, definitely just calling out all the haters, that are just pissed at him that he made it, to the big time for the most part. So I like that. And then in terms of the music video, you got appearances from Dr. Dre, Eminem, posed as doctors, I guess. Exhibit, if you're familiar with him, he makes an appearance in that music video as well. So, I thought the music video was well played, well done. Definitely, what it should be about being in the club. What were your thoughts on the song?
I like the song. Not only is it nostalgic in a way, but I thought he was like really. I thought he was really kind of like a Tupac fangirl in there, and
Hmm.
I identify with that. Like he says in the song, I want them to love me like they love Pac, and
Yeah,
then the part that you just brought up when he say, "Nigga, you mad? I thought that you'd be happy. I made it." It reminded me of a Tupac song at the
yeah.
beginning of Picture Me Rolling when he says, "Why
Oh.
niggas look mad? Y'all supposed to be happy I'm free." And I was like, okay, he really fanning out in this song.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he
I
is.
really liked it. I liked the video too. I like how he like seamlessly transitions from like being operated on to being like in a rehab facility straight into the club. I thought that was
Yeah,
really
it
funny.
was pretty unique.
Yeah, and the way he's like upside down rapping, I'm like, okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of, oh yeah, I guess I should point that out. Did you watch that Super Bowl performance last year?
I don't think I did.
Oh yeah, you gotta
He
check that out.
performed?
Yeah, he performed with Dr. Dre had Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Snoop Dogg and Kendrick Lamar. I guess he was a surprise guest in the show, and I guess he
Oh.
came upside down, and he was getting clowned online in terms of like how much weight he had gained. Because it's like, and then you see the video like recently, it's like, damn, that guy really was skinny.
Oh, I know
Yeah,
they don't expect him to look like he did 20 years
yeah,
ago.
they're giving him. I don't know if you're familiar with the Eminem's group D12, but that one big guy, Bizarre. I guess he did it in like one of I forget the name of the song, but I guess he did it in a music video a while back. I guess they were comparing that to him or something. So yeah, he was getting clowned, but I mean, but yeah, he
I mean,
he he was skinny back then. Like looking. Yeah, looking at it, like the old photos now, I'm going through like the videos, like dang, yeah, he buffed up a bit.
yeah, even on that album cover, he's really slim. But I
Yeah,
mean, I've seen more recent pictures of him, and he seems like pretty, still pretty fit.
yeah,
So I'm gonna have to look up how he looked at the Super Bowl.
yeah. Just look it up, and you'll be like, "Ooh boy." All right. going to the next single, 21 Questions. I'll let you lead this one off. What do you think of 21 Questions?
I liked it. I thought it was a real departure from the rest of the album because on the rest of the album, he's like just expressing a lot of cynicism about women and love, and he's making sure like women don't get in their pockets, and he's making fun of guys who are buying Jordans for maybe babies. But then all
Mm,
of a sudden, you get 21 questions where he's just like, "Well, do you really love me?
yeah.
How much do you love me?" And I'm like, Okay, I like that. He's being a little vulnerable. So I enjoyed it. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I thought it was a good song. Definitely like a nice change of pace on the album. Love ballad. I mean, he didn't go totally Ja Rule on all his albums, but definitely, I think all rappers got to go a little bit, still a little bit of that soft side. So he did that. Music video I thought was kind of sweet, and then it's just like at the end of it, it's just like it was all a dream, really. Like, and if they arrested some other guy. And then also in terms of the video, well, not the video, just the song in general. I think Nate Dogg killed it on the chorus, like he does any
Yeah,
song he's featured on.
yeah. I like how Megan Good was on the video. I'm like, Megan.
Well, that was making good. Oh, I didn't even recognize. She looked a little familiar, but
Yeah, yep, that was
yeah,
her.
Megan Good. Yeah, she's been in a lot of good shows over the years. I guess the one that
Yeah,
does it for me, Cousin Skeeter, when it comes to
yeah, me too, me too.
me.
Yep, that's exactly the first time I was introduced to her. And that song kind of reminded me of your favorite album, "Mama I'm in Love with a Gangster," when he's
Yeah.
in jail talking to the girl. Like,
Oh yeah, the Coolio, the Takes the Thief album. Oh yeah, from Mama.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, a little bit of that too. I mean, I know 50 was a Coolio fan. I know he did tribute him when Coolio passed, so
oh, okay,
maybe he did get some ideas from that music video. But yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely great influences. Yeah, 50 Cent, I'm sure had a lot of them, not just Dr. Dre and Eminem. But let's see. So going on to the next song, PIMP. This one, very interesting song. Definitely. If I go to yeah, just love the chorus. Love how in most of these songs, I noticed that he does like a lot of the choruses himself. Like you don't really see that from a whole lot of rappers. Like he does the raps the chorus, and just like I think yeah, I think 21 Questions was like the only song where he probably didn't do the chorus.
yeah,
So I mean, I do love the fact that he does a lot of his own choruses and stuff. So that's one thing I think a lot of people don't say enough about 50. But yeah, the fact that I don't know what you heard about me, but bet you can't get a dollar out of me. No Cadillac, no perms you can't see. That I'm a motherfucking PIMP. So yeah, it's just I mean, the fact the chorus alone is just like I think steals from like the rest of the verses. So I mean, it's a pretty good song. And then like if you go to the remix, I know the remix was part of the bonus stuff, but I think Snoop Dogg kills his verse, and then Lloyd Banks and um, Young Buck, the crew that would be known as G Unit later on. I think they do a good job as well. Definitely. I was because like when I first heard this video, heard this song, I was like, too bad it's not one of the singles. Too bad they didn't make a music video for it. And then later on down the line, it's like, oh, there's a song, but it's a remix, and Snoop is on it, and and he's in the music video, and he has the magic stick. So, well, so what were your thoughts on PIMP?
yeah, I definitely enjoyed the song. I looked at it like, okay, I'm kind of like inhabiting the mind of a pimp. Let's see what a day in the life of a pimp is, and I like how 50 Cent is like, look, I know I don't look like a pimp, but I really am a pimp. I don't have a Cadillac. I don't have a greasy head of hair, but I don't have a perm, but I am a pimp. Verse 2, I was like, oh my god, because he's like, I guess he's like speaking to a girl in a way to woo her, as to pimp her. And I
Yeah,
thought that was interesting. And then verse 3, I thought it was kind of funny when he said, I holla at a hoe till I got a bitch confused. She got on Payless, me, I got on Gator shoes. I'm like, oh my God. And then he said, put my other hoes down, you get your ass beat. That I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, okay, I mean, it's kind of okay. I guess it's kind of honorable. I don't know,
Yeah,
but that's I mean that's nice.
yeah, definitely. It's a definitely unique song. I mean, you gotta, yeah, that's one of my favorite 50 Cent songs. I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely in terms of
And I like
singles.
I liked in the video when the commission of Pimp Saw came together
Oh, that was
to
hilarious.
initiate him, and they're like, "Why do you deserve to be a pimp?" And he's like, "Whoever said progress is a slow
Yeah,
process wasn't talking about me."
and plus I got the magic stick. I like that part. That was funny. And then like he
Yeah.
shows the magic stick, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you're in, buddy.
That was funny. Next single and final single, if I can't. What were your thoughts on if I can't?
um, I liked it. It kind of throughout the whole album, he kind of has this air of like self determination. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it myself. I became a millionaire myself. I did my time myself. I
Yeah,
did my shooting myself. So this song was kind of like, if I can't do it, it can't be done. And I kind of believe him, given everything that he's done. Like
yeah,
he's gone from being a huge rapper to being a huge, what I don't know what he is, a producer of power or whatever the heck, and an
producer,
actor along
executive.
with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
so um I really liked it. There was some more things that were kind of reminiscent of Tupac,
yeah.
because I remember when I forget which Tupac song it was, but Tupac like had a whole bunch of P words in a row. And on this one, 50 Cent does that.
Oh,
He said, I apply pressure to pussies that stunting, I pop, standing above, squeezing my pistol. I'm sure that I gotta. Now Peter Piper pick peppers and
oh
run
yeah,
rock rhymes. But 50 Cent, I write a little bit, but I pop nines. So I was like, okay, it's giving a little Tupac.
yeah. A
Um,
little bit of Tupac there.
the other one that was kind of crazy, and throughout the album, he kind of hints at some kind of ruthlessness that he has, where he says, "Even my mama said something really wrong with my brain. Niggas don't rob me. They know I'm down to die for my chain." I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my god. Um, but it was pretty good. What did you think about it?
I thought it was a good song. Definitely a great beat, and just definitely 50 Cent on his chorus, kick again. Like I said, I think he just doesn't get enough credit for doing his own choruses. I mean, like you don't see that from a lot of rappers. But yeah, if I can't do well, homie, it can't be done. Now I'm gonna let the champagne bottle pop. I'm gonna take it to the top for sure. I'm gonna make it hot, baby. Yeah, so yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And then in terms of verses that really stood out to me, definitely to I think that ruthless part where I'm the drop who made more money than those than these teachers. Ruthless like Coop, but I'm gonna come with more features. So that was definitely a favorite like line from that song that I took. But good single. Didn't hear it on the radio too much, but then again, there was like really no promo around it because I don't think there was any music video for it.
Yeah, it shocked me that this was a single because I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah, I mean it was a popular song, but yeah, just I mean
Hmm.
if you look at the charts though, it didn't rank very high. But I mean,
Hmm.
but I mean I guess all albums gotta have songs like that. I guess from my understanding. All right, so let's get into the songs that had music videos but weren't necessarily singles. Let's start with I know this is probably going to be your favorite track because you keep talking about it, Mini Men. Let's talk about that one. What are your thoughts on Mini Men?
Yeah, not only did it have the best beat, but I just thought it was the best song on the whole entire album. So it starts out where like 50 Cent is like already paranoid, and he's
Mm,
like, what's taking this guy so long? And then, we find out his paranoia is justified because he's being set up.
yeah,
And then that sets the stage for the chorus, in which 50 Cent explains that, the way he sees it, he's trying to live out his destiny, and people are trying to take his life away, so he has to like kill him first.
yeah,
And you know in the chorus he says, "My back on the wall, now you gonna see." And throughout the album, it feels like he's constantly referencing this feeling of, don't push me against the wall, don't do that, because really I'm really crazy. And he kind of references how he used to handle these kind of situations by crying or appealing to God. He says, "I don't cry no more. I don't look to the sky no more."
Yeah.
And I'm like, but now he's like, kind of, I'm taking this into my own hands. Like, I'm not crying about it. I'm not asking God. Like, I'm just gonna handle it myself. But then another part of it where he's like, he looks at himself as like sort of like a buried treasure that nobody is really acknowledging. He calls himself the uncrowned underground king, a diamond in the dirt. And I love that for him. Like, even though he's like a super gangster, he's just like, he really believes in himself, and
Yeah.
justifiably so. And I really like this part. He actually sounded scared when he said it in
Yeah.
the song. He says, "In my nightmares, niggas keep pulling texts on
Mm.
me." And I was like, he really sounded like actually fearful in that line. And I guess throughout the album, he kind of talks about how he feels his destiny is like kind of predetermined, and some supernatural force has like
Mm.
kept him there for a reason. um Even in what's the song we were just discussing, "If I Can't," he says, "This
Yeah.
is God's plan, homie, it ain't mine." And in Many Men, he says, "Somebody shot him, and 3 weeks later he got shot. Now it's clear that I'm here for a real reason, because he got hit like I
Yeah.
got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing." And it's like, he really feels like there's a supernatural force keeping him on this earth, and he has a
Yeah.
real purpose for living. So I really enjoyed this song.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like you really did. Yeah, for me, I think he did have some kind of fear. Now that you mentioned it, when when he was writing this song, at least in the chorus, or it's just like, I'm not going to sing the whole thing, but "Have mercy on many men," and then also that's the part where it says, "Lord, I don't cry no more, I don't look to the sky no more." So saying "Have mercy on." So I think there was definitely kind of fear. You can kind of maybe even feel it, like in the chorus too, like just that,
Yeah.
and then the part where it says the feds didn't know much, but when Pac got shot, I got a kite from the pins that told me Tuck got knocked. So it's like, definitely, a lot of the Tupac references, definitely on this song and, throughout the whole album for that part. Great beat in terms of the song. And, definitely, I think it's one of the songs that kind of defines the whole album, Get Rich or Die Trying, So, I mean,
Yeah.
So definitely, I mean, I know there's no song named after the title, but I mean, if he were to rename Many Men, I mean, I'd be like, yeah, give it that one, Get Rich or Die Trying. So,
Yeah, it has everything in it. It has the joy, the pain, the fear, the immense self belief. It has
it
everything in it.
it had
I love
everything.
it.
Yeah, it had everything definitely mixed up in this whole album. Thoughts on the music video? I didn't know
I
there
thought
was a
it
music
was.
video, so it was my first time seeing it myself. But
I think it was my first time seeing it too.
hmm
I found it to be like very like cinematic, and I don't know how biographical it was, but um, I I liked it. He was I thought it was crazy how he's like coming home from the
hmm
hospital after he gets shot, still in a
yeah,
wheelchair, and he's punishing the snitch.
yeah.
But I did like when he punished the snitch. It's on the part where he's saying, "I thought we was cool. Why you want me to die, homie?" I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it was a good video. I think definitely, like, it's definitely one of those songs that once you put the music video to it, it goes pretty much verbatim of what's going on. Definitely not,
Yeah.
not cutting cutting any corners or anything like that. I thought it was a very well made video, and I think it proved that 50 Cent was definitely ahead of its time when it came to television production, stuff like that. So I think that's one good example.
Yeah.
Last music video we'll talk about before we get into our favorites. Heat. Uh,
I know you like this one.
oh God, you starting to get to know me very well. Okay. Should I start with the song or the video?
Start with the video.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay. So, like many men, I had never seen this music video myself. Yeah, I was kind of blown away by it. I'm like, yeah. 50 Cent, he definitely is ahead of his time. Very innovative. I mean, if you guys have not seen the video, it's if you were alive during this time, go back to the PS2, Xbox, GameCube era, and just picture that as a video game. Maybe GTA San Andreas graphics or something like that. Just think of something like that, but in Vegas. That's pretty much the music video. It's him live, and then two dudes playing some video games. I thought it was a very well done video, and once again, I think it just proves like if you watch that video, 50 Cent was ahead of his time, with doing something like that. Because I don't think there was any other video made like that during its time. None that I can think of. So and 50 Cent is he's been into video games for the most part. I know he was into the Saints Row game, and me being a big gamer, he had a feeling that yep, this was probably going to be Justin's favorite video, and it was. So,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, so you talk about the video, then we can talk about the song. What do you think of the video? What are your thoughts?
I like the video. I like how it
You did
has,
okay.
the video game aspect of it, and then
Yeah,
the people playing it, and then
yeah,
eventually it becomes, what do you call it? Like they combine the
yeah,
video aspect and the people together, and
yeah.
you
That
can't
that
tell the
was cool.
difference. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought it was cool.
yeah. I thought it was kind of crazy how he grabbed the gun. And it was just like, oh, what the hell? He's going to shoot his friend, but at the end he didn't. So I was like, okay,
Yeah,
cool. That would have
and
been
then
kind of crazy. That would.
the gun keeps turning into a
Yeah,
video game, and it's like, is that what prevented him from from shooting the friend?
yeah.
He's like, what the heck? But I liked it. And at the beginning, when they
Mm.
say this is the CIA mission to eliminate influential gangster MCs, I was like, what? It was a very cool video.
Yeah, I actually love finding these music videos that necessarily weren't singles, especially if it's music videos I hadn't seen before, like Cowboy from the Fugees. I had never seen that video. Just to
Yeah.
name a few of them. But yeah, just I thought that was pretty cool. Like how they do videos for songs that necessarily weren't singles but were popular songs on the album. As for the song itself, Heat, I don't condone like violence or anything like that, but I mean. You can't deny that the clocking of the guns in the background of the beat just makes the beat like really fly. Like I think, and then definitely the car revs at the beginning, and again 50 Cent on his beat, on the chorus. It's kind of a long chorus, so I'm not gonna say it, but definitely I like the end of the song where after that last chorus there, he's like, after the first fist fights, it's gunfire, boy. You get the best of me. If you don't want to get shot, I suggest you don't go testing me. All and then yeah, just yeah, he just goes from there. I thought that last part goes hard before he starts going into like the final interlude or whatever you want to call the song. So I mean, great song. I mean, like I said, I don't condone violence for the most part, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just entertainment. And if you don't think it's entertainment, then watch the music video. What were your thoughts on the song itself?
Well, like you, I don't condone violence, but I did like the bar when he said, "You can run for backup. The machine gun shells gonna tear your back up." I was
Oh,
like, okay, that's kind of funny. But the chorus when he says, "I do what I gotta do. I don't
mm,
care if I get caught. The DA can play this motherfucking tape in court. I'll kill you. I ain't playing." I was like, oh my gosh. But I think throughout the album, there's this thing he does where he's like he to me, I consider it a weaponized
mm,
ruthlessness where he's
okay,
saying, look, his to me it's like a defense mechanism. Like
yeah,
the way that he defends himself is by like trying to convince everybody that he's crazy, and maybe he even is, but to say I'll kill you, I ain't playing, and all this kind of stuff. I was like, wow, this is a very intense song.
Yeah, well, it is pretty intense, but I mean, I think after me seeing the video, it just makes it even a little less intense. Like, but definitely. I mean, I'm careful who I play that song around. Like, definitely not a song I'd play around my wife if we were riding in the car. And
Hmm.
it was pretty intense too, because I don't know if you read or did your research, but the censored version of this album doesn't even have heat. It had been removed, so that's
Oh, really?
yeah. Well, I don't think it shows up on the clean version of the song. I mean, I could double check, but I know back way back when they were selling it in stores, it had been removed. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I can see why. All right, so with the singles and video portion of our show done, let's get into our favorites. What three are you going with?
I liked, of course, the number one song I liked
Mini
was
Men.
Mini Man. Uh, the other two I liked were Don't Push Me and Gotta Make It to Heaven.
Okay. All right. So we have one of them in common. Again, yeah, there are no singles, but of course, you probably already guessed it. Heat was one of my favorite songs. The other two I'm going with is High All the Time and Don't Push Me. So let's start with Don't Push Me, since that's one song we have in common. What were your thoughts on Don't Push Me?
Honestly, I chose this because I really like the features. I like
Oh,
Lloyd
yeah.
Banks' verse when he's saying, 20 years of watching my mama tears got me heated, heavily weeded. And then when he says, I sit back and wonder when them angels gonna call my number, that kind of goes along with a theme of the album, which is like constantly talk about death and afterlife and stuff like that. And I liked Eminem's verse when he's talking about. I thought it was interesting when he's like, it seems like he's kind of struggling with. Well, I'll just tell you what he says. He
Hmm.
says, "This is me who's got to be what you see on TV, what you hear on CD, what appears easy." And
Oh,
it's like he's talking about the stress of living up to this image
yeah.
that he's created himself in part.
Yeah.
And he's saying, "How would I look?" Bowing down to somebody who lashes out at me and I don't lash at him. And it's like he's not saying he wants to lash out, but he's asking about the optics of not lashing back given the image that he has created. And I thought that was interesting because it's just, I don't know, I like hearing stuff about the inner workings of people's minds. And in part he's I don't know, presenting this, I don't know, macho attitude because he's trying to live up to this image. And I also like the part where he says, I try to show you the art but you just pick it apart.
Yeah.
um but yeah.
I think for me, definitely, 50's had a good verse on the song, but definitely Lloyd Banks and Eminem definitely killed their verses. Eminem especially, definitely for the same reasons you did with Eminem. Just what you see on TV, what you hear on CD, what appears easy. Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's probably a lot of what Eminem was going through during that time, and like you said, something he created. So I think he kind of kills it. It's definitely better than his appearance on "Patiently Waiting." I mean, I thought that was a good song, but I mean, I think "Don't Push Me" was a lot better Eminem verse, and then Lloyd Banks kills it too with his verse. Definitely gotta watch my back around these niggas because they funny. 20 years of watching my mama as tears. Yeah, so I mean, he definitely did good, and it's just like a little sample taste of what's to come on the G Unit album. Album we'll probably review. We'll review it sometime. I don't know when, but yeah, we'll get around to it. But and then of course 50 Cent on this with his choruses. Yeah, he's very good with choruses, and as you see later on other features he has, he does other choruses as well. So I thought that was a pretty good one. And then what was your other favorite song? We'll do
I
yours and then we'll do
liked
mine.
I like Gotta Make It to Heaven.
I'll gotta make it to heaven. What'd you like about that one?
The on the chorus when he says, I gotta make it to heaven for going through hell. I like that he envisions heaven as like almost like a a consolation prize for
Mm,
having gone through hell, as opposed to the popular conception of heaven, which is like you see heaven as a reward for being virtuous in a way. He sees it as like the end of a long he sees it as like if I went through this much hell in life, I have to have deserved heaven. He's not seeing like virtue as the way into heaven. He sees like hell as the way to heaven, which is very interesting to me. Eh, what else? I also thought it was interesting. The last verse kind of gave me DMX vibes when he's
okay.
like, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And he's saying, at AA they make you say that,
Mm,
and I'm like, first off, on that high song, he's like, I don't need alcohol, I just need weed. And then on here, he knows about AA. I'm like, did he go to AA?
maybe you
But
did.
but he said that's the prayer they burn into your head when you a case acts. I didn't really know what that means, but I tried to look it up, but I could not
Yeah.
find it. But I thought it was interesting, and he also was like, "What the heck?" He said, "I might be your friend in the jail, but not on the streets." But he seems extremely cynical and paranoid, and perhaps for good reason, since he got
Mm.
shot 9 times.
Well, I mean, well, at the beginning of the song, he does say, "Some say I'm paranoid and I'm careful. I'm some say I'm
I'm careful
paranoid.
choosing
I'm careful
friends.
how I choose my friends. I've been to ICU once. I ain't going again." I
Yeah.
thought that was definitely one of my favorites. Just how the whole song started out, but definitely otherwise it was a pretty decent song. I mean, there is some truth. Got to make it to heaven. Just wants to make sure that he lives a good life. Get rich or try trying. The whole theme of the album. So
Hmm.
hopefully he has you know, done a lot of good to go to heaven. But for the most part, I think he turned out all right from where he started. But otherwise, gotta make it to heaven. I mean, not one of my favorites, but definitely a very good song. You gave some good reasons as to why you like it. And then we'll go with my other favorite, "High All the Time." Again, love 50 Cent on these hooks, man. I don't need Don Paragon. I don't need Chris Tangeray and Alizé. I don't need shit. Nigga, I'm high all the time. I smoke that good shit, Yeah, yeah. The beat is really good. I mean, not probably not the best beat, but definitely up there. And then just talking about how he's high all the time, and definitely with the different stash box, Xbox, laptops, fax machine, phone, bulletproof this bitch. I thought that first verse went hard.
Hop
Yeah,
into 2003.
yeah. I mean, it kind of yeah, fax machine. Yeah, that was popular in 2003. I mean, maybe some of the stuff in that verse didn't age well, but I mean, but definitely the Alizé and Tangeray, have aged. I mean, they haven't aged well. I mean, they're just still the same that they were in 2003. So I mean, uh, say, and then I also do like at the end of the second verse, if David could go against Goliath with a stone, I can go at Naza and Jigga both for the throne. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
thought that was kind of oh boy,
I thought that was cool too. That's another one of his he has a very strong belief in himself, which is necessary to,
oh yeah,
get where he's at. I also like a part where he says, "If you love me, tell me you love me. Don't stare at me, man. I hate to be in the pen for clapping one of my fans." It made me think of a person that I know who is like, if he's ever in public, he and somebody is staring at him, he's like, "What are you looking at?" Like I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like what the, like, why are you doing that? But people are paranoid from being stared at, and he's
yeah,
like, "Please just tell me you love me. If you were real, my nigga, you know how to holler G unit. Don't just sit there and stare at me."
yeah,
Um, And then on the last verse, I'm like, is this a Fuji's reference when he says, "Nigga, ready or not, here I come, come."
I think it was.
Oh, okay.
I think it was. I wouldn't be surprised if it was or wasn't. So I think it was. So a lot of artists back then would recite choruses or lyrics from other artists during that time. Even though it was like 7 years after the Fugees put out their record, still it was a
Yeah.
little more common back then. Maybe not now, but yeah, back then it was a little more common. So I wouldn't be surprised. But that
But
does it.
I thought it was
Mm, mm.
a nice vibe of a song. It was
Mm.
very smooth. I
Yeah,
liked it.
it was smooth, and that's what I liked about it. Definitely the smoothness. Gotta I like one hard song. Gotta like one smooth song. You know me. Yeah. So, and then in terms of honorable mentions, PIMP was an honorable mention for favorite songs, and it was my favorite single, by the way. Favorite singles, favorite music video. Do you want to add before we go on to the bonus tracks?
um, favorite music video, probably probably In the Club. I
Okay.
just like him upside down rapping and stuff like that. Uh, my favorite song on the whole album is definitely
Many
Many
Men.
Many Men. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very, very good song. Very good song. So, uh, any track you like the least, or any song you could have did without?
Like My Style. It was just like mid in comparison to
Yeah,
all the other songs.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't. If I were to cut one song from the album, it'd probably be that one. But for the most part, it was a very enjoyable album. I had
Yeah.
no complaints, so we have that in common there. That's
Yeah.
a Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the album cut. So we'll just go through this very quickly. Um, yeah, pretty much. Even though I think everyone got the bonus cuts, but for the most part, when reviewing this, we just went on the first 16. We don't really like to do like bonus tracks, but we'll talk about them. But in terms of like ranking the tracks, not so much. Obviously, Wanksta was very popular during that time. You not like me, and then if life's on the line, and then PIMP, and then the In the Hood were the five singles. Were you able to listen to the bonus tracks? What were your thoughts on them, if you did?
Yeah. I like Wanksta, of course. He's kind of expressing disdain for
Hmm.
people who are pretending to be gangsters. I really like the line when he says, "Rap shit so easy. I'm getting what you get for a brick to talk greasy."
Hmm.
And I'm like, wow, yeah, that's that's gotta hurt if whoever he's directing that at. Um, I liked "You Not Like Me"
Hmm.
when he says, "Mama said everything happened to us was part of God's
Yeah.
plan. So at night when I talk to him, I got a gun in my hand." So it's like this
Yeah.
ruthless, what do I call it? Weaponized ruthlessness that he has is not just limited to
Hmm.
like human beings. Like he extends this to celestial beings. He's coming to God with a gun in his hand. Like
Yeah.
this is a hell of a man.
Yeah. For me, with the bonus tracks, "Life's on the Line." That was from the mixtape. Guess Who's Back? I guess they put it on the album here, and I like how well. I mean, again with the Jay Z and Nas. Now here's a list of MCs that can kill you in 8 bars. 50. Jay Z and Nas. I'ma say this shit. And now and never again. We ain't buddies, we ain't partners, and we damn sure ain't friends. This games you playing, you can get killed like that. Acting like you all hard. You ain't built like that. And so I thought that again going after the kings of New York, with Jay Z and Nas. So like I
Yeah, it was
said, he
very bold.
very bold, but I mean, he's definitely proven his worth. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of my favorite New York rappers to say the least. So I mean, I like that. And then Wanksta, that was off the 8 Mile soundtrack. So I mean, it was a single, but it was a bonus track. So we'll probably do the 8 Mile soundtrack at some point whenever we get into soundtracks. And then the other few songs, obviously PIMP remix was good, and You Not Like Me was a pretty decent song. So I mean, there were good bonus tracks. So not hard to find. It should be on whatever streaming platform you guys listen to music on, or if you have the CD. I think the PIMP remix was reissued later on if you want it on CD. But yeah, for the most part, they're not hard to find. All right, so let's get into recommendations, and we'll get this episode wrapped up. Um, so obviously, I just mentioned Wanksta. It was a single off the 8 Mile soundtrack, so definitely check out the 8 Mile soundtrack if you want to listen to albums similar to this. G Unit, Beg for Mercy. This is an album that came out later that year. G Unit featured him, Lloyd Banks, and Young Buck. Tony Yayo was also in the group, but I believe he was incarcerated at the time of that album release. I'll get into more of that when we talk about it. And then a guy who wasn't on the album, but from like the same Eminem, Dr. Dre library, Obi Trice, Cheers. Very good album. And he also did appear on the 8 Mile soundtrack as well. All right. So before we close this episode, and this has been our longest episode yet. Any of these, besides Mini Men, any of these songs you taking back to your playlist?
Yes, I would take back I Gotta Make It to Heaven.
Gotta make it to heaven.
I really like that song. Um just in closing, I think this was a great album. Like in it was like a cool adventure. It talked
Mm,
about God, death, afterlife, self
yeah,
defense, immense self belief, paranoia, self determination, cynicism, betrayal, and love too.
yeah.
That part is important. So I thought it was a great album.
Yeah, fantastic album. It brought back memories. Definitely. I thought I was gonna have to listen to it like 3, 4 times, but no, I only listened to it twice. I'm like, wow, I really did listen to this shit a lot when I was growing up. But I mean, but yeah, great album. If you don't have it, if it's any one album I recommend from 50 Cent, definitely pop this one in, cop it out. You'll like it. In terms of taking back to the playlist, Heat, which I had not heard in a long time, I'm definitely taking that back. High all the time. Probably Don't Push Me, and then maybe PIMP as well. I mean, and the remix. I gotta get the can't forget about the remix. So I'll probably take those 5 songs back. We want to hear from you now, audience. What were your favorite tracks on the album? What were your thoughts? Anything you liked, anything you didn't like, anything we missed? Please let us know in the comments below. For Netta, aka Wanderous Net, I'm Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool, and thank you for watching or listening to episode number 14 of Listen in 3D. Please check us out on all our social media platforms, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Um, Talk to y'all later. Peace.